Hello and welcome to a Minecraft video where I will be talking about Minecraft Randomizers. In this video I will be showcasing 4 different randomizers in Minecraft Bedrock Edition that are all used in different instances, or if you want to have different number of outputs. I've laid them all out right here and we'll be going through each one. Let's start out with the simplest one. There's with an output of 2. As you can see, when we press this button, one light will light up, and the other one should light up as we press it more. There we go. The way this one works is we have an item that takes up an entire stack, such as a tool, and an item that you need 64 to make up a stack. The way this works is you press the button and the dispenser will dispense the item into the hopper. Because they are different sizes, the comparator will spout out or give a different output strength, which then lights up one or the other. I will give a super quick showcase or show you how to build this. It's very simple. We have the redstone on top with the repeaters there, and then whatever output you want. Be sure you have these repeaters on 1 tick, or else you will get multiple outputs every time you get the larger output, as you can see there. And, other than that though, the pros for this build are that it is super simple, as you've seen, and that it is the rates are changeable. So if you wanted the larger one to have twice as big likelihood or twice as much likelihood, all you would have to do is add in another tool and you could change that likelihood. You could add 3 tools and make it 3 times as likely. It is super simple to change the rates for this farm. Only con is that it is the only one with an output of 2, unfortunately. So if you wanted to do something with more outputs, you'd have to come over to this one. This one has an output of 3 to 9, and the way this one works is using shulker boxes. So when we press this button, a shulker box gets dispensed, the piston pushes it and goes back into the hopper, which then goes back into the dispenser. Each shulker box, as you can see in here, is filled up with a different amount of items. When a shulker box has a different amount of item, as you can see, this has 1 shovel. It'll give a signal strength of 1. This shulker box has 2 items. It'll give a signal strength of 2. This one has a lot more, and it'll give a much larger signal strength, all the way up to a very large signal strength of more, as you can see. So each shulker box in here has a different number, meaning this comparator will give a different amount. You may recognize this setup from the randomizer, the 2 output randomizer right over there. It is exactly the same basically, except we have one on every row and for much longer. Again, be sure you have 1 tick on the top row. Let me showcase that one more time because I didn't really get a good view the first time. As you can, I think I went too quickly. Let me do it one more time. As you can see, the light just went on, and the shulker box gets placed and destroyed extremely quickly. So let me do a quick showcase of the build. When you press the button, you're going to want to send it to 3 different places. You're going to want to send it to this dropper or this dispenser. You're going to want to send it to this dropper, and you're going to want to send it to this piston. You're going to want to send it to the dispenser, then the piston, then the dropper. Make sure that the piston pushes the shulker box that has been placed by the dispenser into a hopper, which will then go into a dispenser, pushing it back into another hopper, into another dispenser. Hopefully you have been able to catch that, or you can see what is going on. This also, be sure you have the dispenser on more ticks than the piston, and the piston on, so I would suggest the piston on 3, and this one on quite a few more, because it has to have time to travel all the way there from when you press the button. And then, yes, so the pros are the larger output. It is simple, and again, it is, the rates are changeable. You just have to decrease the amount of outputs. However, the main problem with this one is it's quite expensive, as you have to use a shulker box for every single output. Moving on to the animal randomizers. These randomizers, the main pro for these is that you would have a signal that is always active. If you wanted a signal, if you always wanted to have a signal, this would be the randomizer for you. As you can see, it's super simple. We just throw some tripwire hooks down inside here with the animal walking back and forth. Now, unfortunately, I did do a quick test, and it seems as though animal behavior will cause the middle one to occur twice as much. So the animal behavior seems to make them just walk back and forth and back and forth. As you can see here, after doing some tests, the middle one was twice as much as the side ones, because the animal would just walk back and forth. To try and fix this problem, I made a, instead of using tripwires, I made one with pressure plates. However, once again, animal behavior makes it seem as though the animal just walks back and forth. So when I tested it earlier, the animal was just walking back and forth along here. So I got these 3 quite often, but didn't get the other ones at all. It seems that this animal is doing better, but it also is just walking around the corners. It doesn't seem to be going to the middle at all. So those 2 are not great because they are not truly randomized. However, if you need something that is always active, that's your best bet, and I'm sure it's possible to like cancel out the negative or the double output. As you can see, the cow is not stopping in the middle. This has just walked back and forth. All right, this final one is the biggest, and it is expandable basically infinitely. However, it is that would make it extremely large, and it's also extremely slow and just extremely expensive. However, it is able to accompany basically any amount of input or outputs. So what it is it's basically just an item sorter, and every time an item is sent through it, depending on the item, it'll activate a different output. I'm not going to show how to make an item sorter. It's basically right here if you really need to see it. But as you can see, we filled up each of these hoppers with different items, and this dispenser has all of those items as well. When we press the button, it will shoot out one, which will then travel through the hopper chain and activate one of the lights. Unfortunately, again, it is also extremely slow because it has to travel through every single one of these. And I think I built this wrong in testing. Make sure to build this part one farther out so that the hopper doesn't get locked by these redstone torches. Basically, what you're going to want to do is have the hoppers there instead of where I had them, because these redstone torches will lock the hoppers and make them impossible to transfer items. They'll get stuck, as done here. So those are the 4 hopper, or not hopper, but Minecraft randomizers that I've designed. Hopefully you found this helpful, and whatever you need, you will be able to use these. But thank you for watching, and again, I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you all later. Thank you, and goodbye.